Alright guys, so we're going to look at your workout for this Saturday's beatdown. Alright, so the workout is for time. We're going to do 3 rounds of 10 thrusters at 40 and 25 kilos and 10 pull-ups. Once we're through 3 rounds of that, we move on to 3 rounds of 10 power snatches at 40 and 25 again, and 20 double unders. Once we're through 3 rounds of that, we're going to finish with 3 rounds of 10 overhead squats, again at 40 and 25, followed by 10 burpee box jumps at 24 and 20 inches. So that's the RXD division. Moving on to scaled option 1. The weights are going to go to 32.5 and 20 kilos with a jumping pull-up, okay, and the weights remain constant across all the movements. Moving on to scaled option 2, the weights are going to move to 25 and 15 kilos with jumping pull-ups. Okay, when we get to the double unders, double under attempts, okay, so a successful or a failed attempt will count as a rep. And then with the burpee box jumps, we're going to go to a 20-inch step over. So you can jump over the box or step over, both are acceptable. That's the workouts and the scaling. Let's move on and have a look at the movement standards. Alright guys, so Monique's going to take us through the movement standards for this month's Saturday beatdown workout. So the first couplet begins with a thruster. She cleans that bar, full squat depth, full extension at the top, that bar's over the center of her skull, and rest. So common errors that we see with this one, not achieving that full squat depth. It's no rep, and no rep, rest. The other fault we see with this movement all the time is not getting that bar over the center of your skull at full extension at the top of the movement. It looks like this. It's no rep, no rep. Okay, so we need to see that bar clearly over the center of her skull for the rep to count. Rest. Moving on from there, we'll look at the pull-up. So chin's clearly over the center of the bar, clearly over the bar at the top of the movement, and rest. Okay, so common errors we see obviously are not getting that chin over the bar, which looks like this. No rep, and no rep, rest. Moving on to the jumping pull-up for the scaled divisions. So you're going to set yourself up a box, and we're looking at standing at full extension. The pull-up bar should bisect your forearm. From there, she's going to grip the bar, come to a full hang, and go into her jumping pull-ups. So she jumps with that chin clearly over the bar and full extension at the bottom of the movement, and rest. So again, errors we see are not getting the chin over the bar, no rep, and rest. And also you must reach full extension. So not getting your arms straight at the bottom is a no rep. No rep, no rep, no rep, and rest. So again, we're looking for that full extension at the bottom and chin over the bar. And rest is a good rep. Alright guys, so once we've been through that initial thruster pull-up couplet, we're going to move on to power snatches and double unders. So Monique's going to power snatch that bar overhead. Note the way she stands the rep up every time. And rest. So the error we tend to see here is not getting that full hip extension at the top, not standing up the rep, which would look like this. No rep. No rep. So we want to see that barbell stood up at the top every time. Good rep and rest. Okay, so moving on from there, we're going to look at double unders. So Monique will grab her rope. And rest. Good. So the scaling option for the scale division 2 is to do double under attempts. Okay, so that means that the rep would count for a successful attempt. And a rep would also count for an attempt missed. Okay. Okay guys, so the third and final couplet of the workout is overhead squats and burpee box jumps. So the overhead squat, Monique's going to snatch it overhead and start banging out overhead squats. Okay, full depth of range, she stands it up every time. The error we see is not getting full squat depth. It's no rep, no rep. The other error we see is not fully standing the rep up at the top. No rep, no rep, no rep. So we need that barbell stood up every time. And rest. From there, these burpee box jumps, chest to ground. Okay, it's a 2-foot jump across the box. Okay, and we want to see that nice solid push-up every rep. And rest. So the scaling option here for Division 2 is to step across the box. Okay, so that would look like burpee, step over, and step over.